Look, welcome, Knicks Nation. I hope you're all well today. Let me get that over. Um, Let me set some ground rules right off the bat. Um, if you're here when we go over stuff, you're here. I'm not going to keep going over stuff for people that arrive late. I am pissed off right now. I am not happy right now. We will go into everything that happened. Tom Thibodeau is out as head coach of the New York Knicks. We will go into everything that happened. I will discuss the candidates I would be interested in. That doesn't mean anything to the Don because he's going to make the next decision. Yes, I'm pissed off. And if you come on my channel, the disclaimer still stands. If you come on my channel, one of these assholes that want to throw dirt on Tom Thibodeau's grave, you can just leave now. Okay? You want to get your nuts off, go somewhere else with that. That ain't going to work here today. Okay? And I'll guarantee y'all something else, too. Whoever the Knicks hire, you're going to have a bunch of knuckleheads claiming they should be fired within 30 games. It's going to happen. Okay? So it doesn't matter who they hire in that regard. There's always going to be a large contingent of idiots in Knicks Nation that want any coach fired. It came as a surprise to me. The reason it did, several reasons. First off, Tom Thibodeau was just extended last summer, guaranteed 3 years, $30 million. I heard it's upward to $33 million, but it was at least 3 years and $30 million. Even though James Dolan has deep pockets and he paid Phil Jackson $60 million to go away, I don't see him just throwing away $30 million. Also, the Don has proven to be extremely cautious when it comes to dollars and cents on the Knicks. So with Karl Anthony Towns coming in basically at training camp, or right at the end of training camp, basically getting a 3-year deal for Tom Thibodeau, it made sense to me. And then with James Dolan himself saying, look, we're in this for the long haul. I fully expected that this would be at least another 2-3 seasons. Now, when you look at that, what I just stated to you was not my opinion. What I just stated to you was factuals. In other words, they did sign Tom Thibodeau to 3-year extension last year, which goes on. That means this year that we just finished, he's getting paid whatever his salary was, and he's getting paid another 10 to 11 million per year for the next 3 seasons. That's facts. They just got Karl Anthony Towns for Julius Randle and Dante DiVincenzo right before the preseason started. That's also a fact. So they just finished in the Eastern Conference Finals. That's also a fact. So when you put all that together, it doesn't portend to letting go of your head coach. It's not logical. Aside from the haters, when you look at everything I just said, it makes no sense. But then again, if Denver won a championship, was it 2 years ago, and fired Mike Malone, and the Toronto Raptors went to the Eastern Conference Finals, and their head coach got fired, and then Cleveland's head coach, Bernie Bickerstaff, got fired, I guess anything could happen, okay? So anything could happen. But logically speaking, if you look at it logically, it didn't make sense for them to fire Thibs, but for them to fire Thibs, after everything I just said, someone said something. That someone who said something has enough juice with either and or James Dolan, Leon Rose. Someone or some group said something at the end of this season, because that is the type of situation that will cause a coach to be fired. Or there was a disagreement in how to move forward that caused somebody as stubborn as Tom Thibodeau to butt heads with somebody like Leon Rose, and Tom was out. We will find out, I am sure. And this is one of these situations where Ian Begley, who just Monday if you listen to what he said Monday, he wasn't sure if Tom Thibodeau was coming back. He said he would not be surprised if Tom Thibodeau did come back, but he expressed a little doubt about it on Monday. So this is something he probably was hearing stuff, but he didn't report it, which to his credit. So between Ian Begley and Shams, we will find out probably by free agency, July 1st, what actually happened to cause Tom Thibodeau, them to pull the plug on Tom Thibodeau. Okay? We will find out what actually happened to cause them to pull the plug on Tom Thibodeau. We'll find out. And like I said, I don't know, but like I said, in the face of all of the information that I just shared, that make it just doesn't make any sense. I can see maybe even next season. But after 1 year of Cat coming in late, with Cat, Bridges, and Brunson playing together for the first year, with OG in his first full season, it's surprising. It is surprising. And it makes me nervous. It makes me nervous. And the reason it makes me nervous is, and again, I trust Leon Rose. I really trust Leon Rose. So we'll talk about that in a minute. But one thing you don't want is coaching disruptions. If you want to have long-term sustainable winning, one of the things you don't want is coaching disruptions. For example, the Celtics had Brad Stevens as their coach, and he was successful. They didn't fire Brad Stevens. They put him in the front office, and Brad Stevens had Ime Udoka, and he was on his way to doing great things, and we all know that, skirts got to him, and that was a change that had to be made based on behavior. It wasn't based on coaching ability. So they made that change, and they brought Mazzulla. We see what happens. So it's not something you want to do when you're coming from a laughing stock to a long-term sustainable winner. You don't want to disrupt the coaching, which is again why when they gave him the extension last summer, to me, that was a sign they were going to go forward with this crew for 3 years. Well, obviously they're not. So let me say this right away. What I do not want to see, look, the Don, I believe, is smart enough, as he has shown in the 5 years he's been at the helm here. He plays chess, not checkers. The Don does not play checkers. He plays chess, and he often does it in 3 dimensions. Why do I say that? He would not be firing Tom Thibodeau unless he had a list of possible replacements already. We will find out very shortly, I think before July 1st, before free agency, we will find out who the next head coach is going to be. But he would not let go of Tom Thibodeau without having somebody, or at least a couple of guys, that he knows he could talk to about the position. What I don't want, and this is just me, I don't want no coach with no head coaching experience in the NBA. I don't want no Jay Wright. I don't want no Hurley. I don't want no college wonder boy here. New York is the most difficult place to coach. Whether it's football with the Jets and the Giants, baseball with the Mets or the Yankees, or basketball with the Knicks. I wouldn't even put Brooklyn in there yet because Brooklyn is more like a small market team, actually. But the Knicks is a difficult place to coach. Got to deal with the media, asking dumbass questions, and then there's us. It's a very difficult job, okay? It's micro-analyzed. So the next coach needs to be somebody that understands that and can handle that. David Fizdale could not handle it. Jeff Hornacek could not handle it. Derek Fisher could not handle it. Tom Thibodeau did. What that means is you don't directly answer any of their questions. You don't get into their bull S questions. You give short, distinct answers, and you keep your plans close to the vest. Thibs did that. But I want to say generally in these scenarios, for example, the Cleveland Cavaliers, in the year they won the championship, they fired their head coach midway through the season. Y'all remember it was a European head coach, and they replaced him with Ty Lue, and they went on to win the championship. The Lakers had Paul Westhead and Vinny Del Negro. They fired them, and they brought in Pat Riley, and they proceeded to win the championship. So this is not unprecedented. You sometimes want a voice to carry you forward when you think the voice that's there has gone stale, and that's entirely possible. It could be that Tom Thibodeau's voice went stale with the Knicks. Could be. Okay, so maybe they need a fresh voice. Okay, so now you need a respected head coach. You need a respected head coach. Okay, somebody that has the players' respect from day one. Somebody that they're going to allow to lead them without question. I really have three in the, if we're playing spades, I got three in the possible. The three that I like, and I'm not saying any of them would get hired because I don't know. I like Mike Malone. I like Mark Jackson. And I like Taylor Jenkins. Now, Mark Jackson hasn't coached in the NBA in a long time, but I have to believe he still knows basketball and he still knows the NBA. It's highly unlikely they give him a shot. Highly unlikely because of what the situations that we know. So that would leave Mike Malone and Taylor Jenkins. The possible is Johnny Bryant. And the reason it's possible is because he was the associate head coach under Thibs for 3 years, at least, maybe 4. And he was the associate head coach under Kenny Atkinson this past season. So he's got to be considered. But I'm going to be honest with you. If it's between the Phoenix Suns and the Knicks, I hope he takes the Suns. And the reason is it's going to be much easier transitioning for him as a head coach in Phoenix than New York. It's very difficult here. And I don't know if he can handle that. I don't know if he can handle that. And I mean that. I'm not saying he can. I'm not saying he can't. I'm saying I don't know. Like, I was absolutely sure Tom Thibodeau could coach here and didn't give a crap what anybody thought. We need a guy like that don't care what anybody thought or what anybody thinks. We need a guy like that. Okay. But I don't know if Johnny Bryant's that guy. That's all I'm saying. He's paid his dues. He was an assistant in Utah. He was an assistant in New York, and we know he was an assistant with Cleveland. So I'm not saying he did not earn a shot. But the expectations in Phoenix are low. They just failed with 3 so-called superstars. I don't know if they're going to bring Kevin Durant back. I know they're trying to get rid of Bradley Beal. and you still got Devin Booker, who may or may not resign with them. I don't know. So he can basically have a fresh start with Phoenix. It wouldn't be the first coach either. Monty Williams did the same thing. Okay. Wouldn't be the first time. Lots of coaches. Jeff Hornacek won 48 games with them in his rookie as a coach there. Okay. So that has happened before. I would take Phoenix if I was him. The competitive Johnny Bryant is going to want New York. He's competitive. He's going to want the Big Apple. I don't know if he can handle it, but that's up to the Don to decide. Taylor Jenkins, the year he got fired, I don't think he had 5 players that played over 50 games that year. Everybody was hurt. And the year before that, though, he was top 5 in defensive rating. And the year before that, he was top 5 in defensive rating. I need somebody that knows some defense. Brendan Malone won a championship. So to me, winning the chip, that qualifies you. It's like once a guy gets MVP in the NBA, he's MVP. If he's in his prime, he's a baller. Okay. Period. All right. So this year, that would be SGA. SGA is a dude. Forget it. MVP. Okay. So Brendan Malone got a chip. I would not mind having him here. The thing I think that makes Brendan Malone a strong candidate, I'm not saying, to me, number 1 on my list is Mark Jackson. Mark Jackson is number 1 on my list. But what makes Brendan Malone a strong candidate is, again, we talk about the championship. He's got the championship. But also, he has ties to both the Brunsons. He is also one of those guys that was around when Rick Brunson was playing and Jalen Brunson was a little boy. So he has ties to the Brunsons. Okay. And of course, he has ties to the Knicks. So I could understand how they might hire him. He knows how to handle New York. He's a hardened guy. He's been fired before. He's fired from Sacramento before he went to Denver. He was in Denver for 10 years. So he knows how to adjust, and he knows how to handle New York. So I would trust Malone. Okay. I would trust any of the guys I just named. I would trust the least one, to me, the most risky one is Taylor Jenkins because of his youth. But that boy had Memphis playing some defense. Okay. They just couldn't stay healthy. But what I like about Mike Malone and Taylor Jenkins, which I think some of y'all who was men's police should like, is they go with 10-man rotations. Both of them are 10-man rotation guys. Mike Malone was a 10-man rotation guy in Denver, and Taylor Jenkins was a 10-man rotation guy in Memphis. So they both are 10-man rotation guys. And so that would so I guess what I'm saying is, regardless of those two, you won't have a Knicks player leading the team in minutes. Because if you look at the last full season of Mike Malone, the last full season of Mike Malone, I'm looking at the minutes played for Denver. The guy that led them in minutes played was the Joker, 35 minutes a game. Then you had if you're guys that played at least 50 games, and that's how I look at it, guys that appear in at least 50 games. And the guys that appear in at least 50 games, you had an 11-man rotation with guys getting at least 10 minutes. The big minutes were Joker, and then you had KCP that year, Aaron Gordon, and Jamal Murray, 32 minutes. That would be like, if you had that on the Knicks, that would be like a vacation from Mikal Bridges. So you're going to get, if it's one of those guys, and I think they're going to choose between Malone, Bryant, and Jenkins. It's my personal choice for Mark Jackson, but I don't think they're going to choose him. Kenny Atkinson is still in Cleveland, so they ain't going to choose him, obviously. So, and then there has been noise about Budenholzer, but I don't think there's an appetite for Budenholzer. So, I can see Mike Malone, Taylor Jenkins, and Johnny Bryant being in the running. My of those three, I would like Malone because, like I said, you got to be able to coach. He's proven he can with the chip. You got to be able to handle New York. He can. He's Brendan Malone's son. He's been in the Knicks organization before. He knows everything about how to handle both the media and the fans in New York. And then, of course, he has, like I said, he has ties to the Brunsons from his tenure here in New York previously. So he's no stranger to New York. I don't want some rookie coach. I don't want Jay Wright. Jay Wright never coached in the league. And there's a long record of coaches coming from college failing. The Knicks are a Mercedes-Benz right now, a brand new Mercedes-Benz. You don't want to put your brand new Mercedes-Benz in the hands of somebody who just got their driver's license. If you're going to let somebody drive your Benz, you want to make sure somebody know how to drive a Benz. That ain't Jay Wright. That ain't Hurley. That's college. This is the league. This ain't college. I want somebody that knows their way around the league, if you're asking me. So we're going to see. I can understand the Jay Wright thing, obviously, with the whole Villanova thing going on. I could see that. Like I said, this ain't Villanova. This is the league. So we're going to see what happens. I have no idea who the Don's going to pick. I have no idea. This is completely wide open. There's going to be wild speculation until the day he makes the pick. I'm even wondering if we will even know who he's interviewing. That's what I'm listening to Shams and Ian Begley for. First, I want to find out why Tom Thibodeau was fired. Something happened. It's not just that they expected him to win a championship this year. It's not that. Something happened. There was a butting heads. Somebody said something, and that's why he's out. I want to know what happened. And number two, I want to know who's going to be the head coach. And I expect that Shams will know and Ian Begley will know about people being interviewed. I expect they're going to know about that. And so in the next couple of weeks, we'll get an idea who they're interviewing for the job and who gets the job. Tom Thibodeau, I believe, was hired 5 years ago this July. I believe he was hired in July of 2000, if I'm not mistaken. 5 years ago, this July, I want to say. It was a COVID year, and I think they hired him. And I wouldn't be surprised if something similar happened, maybe even a little sooner now. Because like I said, the Don ain't going to let him go without having at least a list of who he would call on if he needed a head coach. It's going to be interesting because, like I said, usually if you bring in a head coach, they're going to clean house. You won't see Daichi Yashimoto. You may not see Mark Bryant. There's going to be a number. He's going to bring in his own crew. Okay. The head coach is going to bring in his own crew, which is why I want somebody that has NBA experience. Mike Malone has a crew. Johnny Bryant, I know he has enough contacts to get a crew. And I know Taylor Jenkins would have a crew. So they're going to bring in their dudes. You know, it's going to be a whole new faces behind the bench. Okay. So we'll see. This is going to be interesting. Also, I'm interested to know if there's any coaches that's coaching right now that would want to leave their present position to take the New York head job. I don't know if anyone would, but I want to see if that's the case also. You know, if there's I know people, I love Kenny Atkinson, but I just don't see him leaving Cleveland after he getting his first big job and finishing first in the East to come to, I don't know. We'll see. That's going to be interesting. I know it ain't going to be. Then you ain't going to see Doc Rivers. That ain't happening. I'm going to tell you that right now. Mark Jackson has a better chance of becoming the Knicks head coach than Doc Rivers. I'll tell you that right now. I'm not seeing any chat. I don't know why. I'm not seeing chat right now. I don't know why I'm not seeing it. I got the chat open. I don't know why I'm not seeing, but I'm not seeing chat right now. So if you're trying to say something that can't, I'm not. It's not me. I don't know what it is that's stopping people from being able to see. Let me just make sure it's public. I got that. No restrictions. I got that. Yeah, everything is open as far as I can see. So it looks like it. Today's June 3rd. Yeah, comments are on. No moderation. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Maybe it's a good day not to have it. I don't know, because I don't feel like hearing they should have fired Thibs. He's behind the times. I'm so glad y'all can celebrate on somebody else's channel. I am pissed today. I am not happy about this. But again, I trust Leon Rose. I trust Leon Rose. He's in charge. He's made a few mistakes, but I trust him here. So I don't know who he's going to bring in, but I know they're going to be good. I know they're going to be good. So I'm trusting his judgment. Okay. He only made some minor mistakes during the course of his tenure. Most of the time, he's on point. So, you know, especially the last time I had any doubt about Leon Rose was when they brought in Jalen Brunson and they gave him $100 million. And that turned out all right. That turned out all right. So, yeah, I trust him. I trust what he's doing. I know he knows what the hell he's doing. So I'm going to leave that to him. I do want to know who it's going to be, though. If I had to guess, I would say Mike Malone. The only way it wouldn't be Mike Malone is if Mike Malone is so much like Tom Thibodeau that they just say no. But I don't know. So we'll see. Because they fired Mike Malone pretty suddenly in Denver, too. You know. So I don't know. We'll see. This is going to be very interesting. I can tell you that right now. But I trust Leon Rose. The Don knows what he's doing. Like I said, he ain't going to let go of Tom Thibodeau unless he got something in his back pocket. Or, you know, he got a list of names in his back pocket. And he's making phone calls. And they're lining up interviews. I know they are. So we'll see in a few weeks who the new head coach is. Yeah. I really do wish they would give Mark Jackson a chance here. If there's anybody that would not give a crap about what the NBA felt about Mark Jackson, it's James Dolan. I mean, if you really want it. But he's going to put that in Leon Rose's hand, as he should. He's going to let Leon Rose make the decision. And I trust whatever Leon comes out with, I trust him. Even if he hires a stupid college coach, I'll be with him. I don't believe college coaches can coach in New York. They might be able to coach in Memphis, Charlotte, anywhere. But this ain't them. New York Knicks is the heaviest uniform in the NBA. Not that just anybody can stand up here and coach. You might, and it don't mean that they don't know basketball, but there is stage fright here. If you've been around anytime you've seen, there is stage fright here. You need somebody that knows how to handle this media and this fan base and knows how to coach on a high level. And it's not easy to find. But like I said, Mike Malone, Taylor Jenkins, Mark Jackson. The reason I like Taylor Jenkins is because he's just a tough, roughneck-looking white boy. He'd be a no-nonsense coach. I like that. I like that. He'd be a no-nonsense coach. Now, whoever's going to coach the Knicks has to give the Knicks a blueprint with what they plan on doing. So that's another aspect. They got to be able to come in and give a blueprint. Somebody's going to, you're interviewing for a job. What are you planning on doing? They're going to have to give a blueprint, right? So we'll see, man. Like I said, we're going to see. We're going to see. What Mariano Rivera say, Panama, we have to see what happens. We're going to see what happens very shortly. Woo, man. I couldn't believe it. Somebody came on my channel and told me that. And then all of a sudden, everybody's coming and telling me, ESPN just reported, Shams just reported, Ian Begley reported. I was like, oh, my gosh, man. Yeah. So, not a great day for me. But I trust Leon Rose. So, this is a big move, probably the ballsiest move he has done. I hope that whoever is the coach, though, gets a couple of seasons, not just 1 year. I hope they get a couple of seasons. We need, come on, let's have some continuity, right? There's going to be knuckleheads. If we don't win a chip next year, there's going to be knuckleheads howling for whoever it is his head to be fired. I really want to give whoever it is a chance to get the team in the situation they want. I don't know. This team is ready-made. Sometimes a new head coach wants their type of players, right? Thibodeau, this coach is in Thibodeau's, this team is in Thibodeau's image, with the possible exception of Karl Anthony Towns because of his defense. But the rest of this team is Thibodeau. This is Thibodeau's thumbprint all over this thing. So I don't know, as far as changing the personnel, I don't see, they don't have the money to be doing that. There's some big salaries on here. This team is set to roll for 3 more seasons. Whoever comes in's got to be able to handle it as is. It's like you buying this situation. This house is yours as is. So we're going to see. It's going to be very interesting, though. It's going to be very interesting, y'all. Damn. Damn. So is what it is. On to the next head coach. We had this one for 5 years, which is saying something. The first head coach in 25 years to get the Knicks to the Eastern Conference Finals. The first head coach in at least 25 years with back-to-back 50-win seasons. And he's out. So here we go. We're going to see what happens. Like I said, I think it's going to be either Mike Malone or Johnny Bryant, realistically. I favor Mike Malone, but I think it's going to be either Mike Malone or Johnny Bryant. If I'm Johnny Bryant, you better head down to Phoenix and don't look back, because this ain't no joke, bro. He was here for at least 3 years. He knows what it is. So, and I know Johnny Bryant is like Kenny Atkinson. He's like a player's coach, and that's cool. I need somebody that knows how to coach some damn defense, though. So we'll see. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all. I ain't seeing y'all. I don't know what's wrong with this thing, but whatever. Y'all enjoy the rest of your Tuesday. We'll be back tomorrow. Hopefully, we'll find out some more information between tonight and tomorrow. We'll be back tomorrow. Let me see. I'm going to try something. Hold on one second. Tell me, I can see some emojis. All right. I don't know if y'all can see this, but I put a poll up. Who should be the next Knicks head coach? I don't know if y'all could. Oh, y'all can see it. Okay. So let me see. We got. This is interesting. Okay, so we got it's neck and neck with Mike Malone and Johnny Bryant at this point. Neck and neck, Mike Malone and Johnny Bryant. Wow. Okay. Yeah, it seems like with 60 votes at this point, it's pretty much those two. Other has 18%. I just put other because other can be a whole bunch of guys. It could be Jackson, it could be Jenkins, it could be somebody else. But it looks like if I had to give the edge, it looks like the edge is to Johnny Bryant. And I could see them doing it. He has paid his dues. He has been on the sidelines a while, and he's paid his dues. He is a guy that is in close with the players. It makes perfect sense. He was in close with Donovan Mitchell. He was in close with Juju. He was able to talk to him when nobody else could. So I could see that. He wouldn't be my first choice, but I could definitely see. I can't say it makes no sense. It does. It makes sense. So we'll see. Yeah, we'll see. We're going to find out soon enough. It looks like I'm going to wait till it gets to at least 100 votes. But with 92 votes, it's Johnny Bryant with 45 and Malone with 38 and other with 17. And it seems like it's Johnny Bryant getting the edge here. Yeah, it looks like I'm waiting for 100 votes. It looks like it's Johnny Bryant, y'all favoring Bryant. I can't argue with you. Like I said, he wouldn't be my first choice, but I can't argue with Johnny Bryant. He's earned it. He's earned it. And like I said, the good thing about him, the players like him. Again, it's got to be a guy that they respect. It can't be somebody that comes in and loses them. It's got to be a guy they respect. I think they would respect Johnny Bryant. I really think they would respect him. I don't know what his game plan would be, in terms of style, because I've never seen him head coach anywhere. He's always been the assistant, or the what they call him, the associate head coach. So we'll see. I hope they keep Mark Bryant on, though, because he's a good big man coach. I hope they keep him on. And there's a number of other guys I hope they keep on their staff, but we'll see. Sometimes the whole staff gets cleared out, but we'll see. If it's Johnny Bryant, we're going to see, because he knows a lot of those guys that's already there. So we'll see. So it looks like Johnny Bryant is you guys' choice. All right. We'll see. Is it going to be Johnny Bryant? Like I said, I have no problem. I understand that. He's paid his dues. He's been in the league for a few years, and he's a relatively young guy. If Johnny Bryant is hired, right, and the Knicks win a championship, he could be an institution here. Like Pat Riley. He could be an institution here. If he comes in and the Knicks go to the next level, even if they get to the finals and lose next year, he could become an institution here. He really could. So this is going to be interesting. Of course, what we don't want is him coming in and them having a losing record. God forbid. But he could come in here and really establish something. He got it set up. So we're going to see. This is going to be something else, man. Kind of exciting. I mean, right? A little bit exciting, right? So I hate to see Tom go, but I trust Don. I trust the Don. I ain't wavering on that. I trust the Don. So make your move. Make your move, chess man. Make your move, chess man. Let's see what you're going to do. You're going to see what happens. Because it really looked like y'all favoring Johnny Bryant. Okay. I ain't got no hate for that. We're going to see. We're going to see. Ah, God. But I tell you, it's not a good day for me. I'm a Thibs guy. Hey, if they hire Bryant, I'm going to be a Bryant guy. I'm going to have his back just like I had Thibs back. Period. And I'll be jamming up anybody coming here trying to talk about it. Okay? Because you're coaching the orange and blue. I got your back. Right? So let's see, man. Let's see what happens. Anyway, please try to enjoy. I'm talking to myself as much as y'all. Try to enjoy the rest of your Tuesday. I'm going to go have me a drink of wine. Past my food window, but man, please. I am not happy today, but I'm going to go and try to chill with this wine right now, man. Sit in my easy chair next to my beautiful wife and just commiserate a little bit. Even my wife was shocked. She said, they fired Tom Thibodeau? He was just getting ready to win. That's what I said. I said, well, baby, you know how they say in the cartoons, baby, look like we got to settle for a turkey sandwich. Y'all go ahead, man. Enjoy it. We'll be back tomorrow with another video. Thank you all for being here. Like I said, I think they'll probably be looking at Mike Malone or your choice, Johnny Bryant. I got to back whoever's coming in. If they're coaching the orange and blue, they're going to be my man. I don't think the Don going to hire no clowns. So I'm trusting him on this. You all enjoy your evening, man. Shalom.